Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, and today I am going to give you some breaking news because our news media is too screwed up to do this. I've told time and time again about the Wuhan laboratory releasing the COVID virus. In fact, I told you who is legally responsible. It is the American National Standards Institute, along with their American National Crediting Board, and the repository for all these accreditation bodies called the International Accreditation Forum, which is no more if you took a hose water, it's all interrelated, ANSI, ANAB, and IAF. You always see the half a nut fuck you behind me. That's because in 2019, I exposed an impropriety. How could you have a laboratory accreditation body sitting over by the same laboratories that they accredit? You'll find out also a Pamela Sale confessed to why there is failure in the laboratory. There's no protocols, which means there's failures over here, failures in China, failures all over the world under the banner of the American National Standards Institute, Voluntary Consensus Standards. I'm not taking any more bullshit from this. I was sued by a shill, from these people. They will deny it, of course, but when you have one of their major leaders, a Randy Doherty, who stated to me in an email, I know him best. He is a force to be reckoned with. He is the guardian of accredited certification. And he was sent after me. And I beat him. Plain and simple. So let's continue on. This video today is about FBI and Department of Justice supports underwriter for Wuhan laboratory ANSI-ANAB by their ANSI board membership and shields the factor of laboratory failure. We don't make this up. And now we go. In 2015, Randy Doherty, the vice president of ANAB, the chairman of the IAF, He's also sitting on the 990 tax firm of the IAF. He handed over leadership to this communist Chinese national, Zhao Jinwu, who's been involved with our quality since 1994. At the time, Zhao was the chief executive officer of the China National Accreditation Services in Wuhan, China. Let's move it up real quick because this picture is from 2017. In 2017, Randy was being advertised on the Department of Homeland Security's website because there was a Phil Matson who still sits there on ANSI's board that was getting paid $262,000 other than his federal salary. And that was a royalty payment, which they didn't really have to pay any taxes on that royalty payment. Yes, disgusting. So Randy was being advertised on a government agency's website. That's like me saying, hey, DHS, put GUBERMAN-PMC up there. Go ahead. But they wouldn't because they don't sit on my board. But they sit on ANSI's board. So when I exposed that, they took Randy down right away. Now we go to 2017. Again, you have Zhao Jinwu. At the time, he was the chairman of the International Accreditation Forum and also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services, standing in the lab, issuing an ISO 17025 certification. ANSI and IANAB at the time were sitting on the IAF. Yes, sitting there between 2015 and 2021. They are underwriters. So let me just bring Zhao Jinwu out here in this picture again. Zhao Jinwu, as the chairman of the IAF, incorporated in Delaware, and also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services. ANAB states, and you will see it, that they are underwriters, which means that if that COVID virus was released, as stated by the Department of Energy and also Christopher Wray today by the FBI, quoted that it was released by Wuhan, China, then the liability factor falls on ANSI-ANAB because they are underwriters. So when that virus escaped, they are liable. They will say to you, because they have the Department of Justice on board, which you will see right here, and they have the FBI on board, and they deal with the American Bar Association, they will say, we're not responsible. We only certify the system. That used to be the fact until they became an underwriter back about 2018. This came off a website telling you that ANSI-ANAB are underwriters for the IAF, International Accreditation Forum, and also the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. ILAC is in Australia, and IAF is incorporated in Delaware. So they took that. They told them to take that off their website. Take it off. Take it off. Government's doing. Honestly, they did, without a doubt, okay? Because I've been biting at the heels of these people for a long time. I told you about half a nut, fuck you. The worst thing about this whole mess is that I sent a letter. I did the right thing. And you know something? Joe Batia, the CEO who gets $2 million a year, didn't do crap. Neither did their attorney. In fact, their attorney says, I didn't hear anything. He did say it. I have the audio file. You can find it on my YouTube channel. Just have half a nut, fuck you, and you'll see. And you'll hear what Russ Cheney said. The worst thing is that in 2022, June, I applied for director at large. I get this letter package from Joe Batia congratulating me on being a nominee for ANSI's director at large. But you know something? It had click links to their code of conduct, which I think that's their mission statement. So I guess that negates their code of conduct. Anybody who sits on there, from Jim Tassett at Lockheed to David Calhoun at Boeing to Andrew Uppergrove, the #1 attorney for 2004 to 2022. Yeah, all approve that. What the heck? Department of Homeland Security, Alexandra Markakis, and Buttigieg of the Department of Transportation, they all say, half a nut, fuck you. And by the way, those poor people in Ohio with the train, that's exactly what Buttigieg said to you. Have a nut, fuck you. And that's exactly it. But that's not my words. That's ANSI's words. The same organization that the Department of Transportation sits on. Also Department of Defense, EPA, FTC, FBI, FAA, FDA, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, United Technologies, actually Raytheon. And we want to dig further. We want to make sure this was official, that they were held liable, even though they deal with the American Bar Association, even that they have the Department of Justice on board. Here they are. Here is the actual contract for 2018, when Zhao Jinwu was still the leader and chairman of the International Accreditation Forum Incorporated in Delaware. You can see it right here. That ANSI-ANAB, they say ANAB, but ANSI took over complete control over ANAB, as I said, in 2018. ANAB is an underwriter for the International Accreditation Forum. Thus, they are solid. They are responsible for the release of the COVID virus in that lab. They're going to deny it, and all their scumbag people. Scumbag. Scumbag is a quality term. It means those are the board members that sit on ANSI and condone this. From women to men, they condone it. I wonder if those women get their mouths. They need a little bit of soap down there, if that's... Yes. Anyway, we're going to continue. This is what an underwriter is. An underwriter is any party that evaluates and assumes another party's risk for a fee. And now we're going to come out with Pamela Sale, who confessed to why COVID virus escaped. And here it is. She said, I'm going to put down a Bio4 lab, also phlebotomy, and worldwide. Those are going to be those words. She said one of the issues is that there is no commonly agreed upon set of standards that forensic labs, bio-level 4 labs, phlebotomy labs around the country and world have to follow. Instead, there are informal guidelines that labs choose to follow or not, which means the system is out of control, which means, yes, ANSI and ANAB does take full responsibility for the release of the COVID virus or any sort of defects in aircraft. In medical, in aerospace, you name it, they're done, okay? Because it just doesn't work anymore. Just does not work. Now we go to this. Pamela Sale, Vice President of Laboratory, at that time, 2017. I think she may still be, but she doesn't know about quality. She really doesn't. We sent her a letter, certified letter, back in 2018, never responded. These people don't respond like Joe Batia. The lawyer did. And the lawyer said, I didn't hear anything. You have any more data? You can hear that he said, you can hear that Russ Cheney said, half a nut, fuck you. But let's continue. I said that this video is about FBI and DOJ supports underwriter for Wuhan lab ANSI-ANAB by their ANSI board membership and shields the lab from failure. And here's the FBI. Yes, the FBI, 2015 to 2021, they got their data taken. A lot of their personnel got personal information, social security numbers, addresses, and where they work within the context of the FBI. Isn't that nice? We have Christopher Wray, who said most recently on November 15th, 2022, during a deposition concerning China and TikTok, he said, the whole of the Chinese society is a threat to the U.S. and that Americans must step up to defend themselves. Not the whole Chinese, only some, just like over here. Not everybody, only some. Isn't that a tender moment? But you know what happens? When we expose a factor about the FBI, about them being watched over and controlled and manipulated by Communist China in 2015 and 21, they didn't hear it. But now they do, because this is what Christopher Wray really looks like. Yes, his costume that he has, a clown suit, and I think even his badge saying FBI, is made in China. And I think the colorants that the material is highly carcinogenic. And here it is, the Department of Justice. So yes, the Department of Justice and FBI will paste over this situation that the COVID virus was released from Wuhan, China. It's absolutely horrendous, the whole situation here. The rest of the data, the pertinent data, is down below this video in the description. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS @yahoo.com. This video is very important because it shows you that sitting on ANSI's board between 2015 and 2021 was the FBI and Department of Justice. And they were, every one of those federal agencies on ANSI have had their data taken, and their corporations too. You have Huawei, who sits on ANSI, who's one of the biggest perpetrators of cybersecurity issues. Unbelievable. I leave it here, business owners and my fellow citizens, and I thank you.